Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel. And today I have with me my colleague and friend Himadri Kundu. Hi Himadri.
Hi, Samir.
Hey, good to see you here, Himadri. So the good thing is Himadri, even though being into management for many years now, is amazing technocrat. And a lot of times I kind of dialogue, discuss, and debate with him about many technologies, many new technologies, in fact, things which I have not explored. And this time we want to explore something called as Golang, or Go language, as we lovingly call it, right, Himadri? So,
Yes.
and you have been working with it now for some time. You know it much better now. So I have many
Yeah,
questions to you, on this Golang, right? No,
of
having worked,
course.
I think both of us having worked in many other languages, C, C Sharp, Java, Node.js, Python, all that, right? I don't understand why do we
Absolutely.
need Golang? What does it bring to the table?
Yeah, it is very interesting to know about this Golang, and I also was curious when I was exploring many other languages. So, surprisingly, what I have realized is that I have extensively coded in other languages, but when I came across this language Go, which is pretty new, and if I just talk about this is just publicly available in version 1.0 in around 2012 timeframe. But what makes it like a choice of language for the developers is primarily the simplicity. It's
Hmm.
basically simple to code,
Hmm.
very powerful in terms of performance is concerned. Is like a compare with C that the old days of writing system code.
Yeah.
It is basically suitable for large enterprise projects. Very improved garbage collection, which is one of the problem, and also concurrency. That maybe we can continue. That is something is
Hmm.
very powerful about as we talk about the Golang.
Right.
And
Understood.
another thing is it also leverages the multi-core processing, which is kind of unique in Golang.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. All these are very interesting points, right? So how? I mean, can you tell us a bit more about like where did it originate, and like I mean, is it how widely is it adopted? Like any examples that you can kind of talk about?
Absolutely. As per the languages goes, you might be knowing that Golang was created by Google. They
Yeah.
were doing the development for around 2007 time frame, and then it was publicly available in the 2009, but the version 1.2 was released in 2012. If I just talk about the company adoptions, Google is using heavily for his scaling and performance improvements for their APIs and all of their services that they are providing in the cloud.
Hmm.
And you might be surprised to know that there are tools like Kubernetes, Docker is also built using Golang, and there are companies like Uber, which is very popular, right?
Yeah.
Is also heavily using, and Dropbox is also using Golang extensively in their
Hmm.
for their development.
Okay. So Kubernetes, huh? So what you mean to say is Kubernetes, the major part of it is Golang based, is what you're saying, right?
It is 100% written in Go.
100%. Wow. Okay. This is something I didn't know. Okay. No. Okay. That
Mm.
establishes the baseline of
Yes.
where it stands. Okay. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah. But okay. So then the next question is, okay. I mean, Kubernetes is like a platform to orchestrate your containers and your actual business application and all that, right? So can I
Exactly.
say, I mean, is it that if I'm actually developing a business application, a web application, shopping cart, whatever, versus I'm developing the framework to framework and tooling to drive such things? I mean, what is the right fitment of Golang? What, in your opinion?
So, Samir, if we talk about primarily the cloud related projects and
Hmm.
maybe where you want the enterprise level scaling and
Hmm.
performance, that
Hmm.
is the places the Golang fits very well. And if you want to make your application distributed in nature, that is the place
Right.
also you can consider Golang is a language of your choice. And another thing I would like to highlight also, along with Kubernetes, in Kubernetes we deploy nothing but containers.
Yeah.
And Docker also, the Docker engine is also built using Golang as well.
Oh,
So
that,
you know
yeah.
that it is highly adapted by the cloud community and lot of CNCF projects. If you just
Hmm.
go and
Yeah.
find out, and
Hmm.
those are mostly built using Golang itself.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, I mean, I was generally reading more like news that a lot of new projects are actually, they're developing using CNCF, right? And a lot of push for
Yes.
Golang to be used there, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
You did mention few technologies there, but yeah, those are the ones which you can take next time. But yeah, okay. Okay, so I think you mentioned few, important. I mean, 5, 6 important points. Maybe we'll take a few of those because I'm still not very clear. Like you talked about simplification of code. Now, of course, we have all coded in. Okay, I agree. C is bit. You need to be a little bit geeky to be with C, but Java is simple. As an example, I mean, to me, I mean, to us, we have worked on it for a long time. So when you mean simplified code, how does it compare with respect to Java or any similar language?
See, one of the beauty of this is that language has a very low in terms of the keywords. It's just less than 30 keywords in the language itself. Okay. If I just talk about for the new developer, it is very easy to learn. Not much of complexities when it comes to the writing a code, and it's easy to learn, and that's what it is primarily considered as a very simple language, right? And so those are the primary aspects that we
okay. So we will flash some examples so that I think you viewers can get the gist, and we'll give some resources where everybody can go and dig out on exact how they have compacted the keyword set and other things, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a valid point. So I can write probably my code faster, easy to maintain. I think that's probably the important point there, right? You also said it is better performant, right? It gives much better performance. So why should it give better performance? Again, comparing to Java, large scale applications run on Java, and they give better performance, great performance. So yeah, what makes it better performant really?
As I was mentioning previously, Samir, that Go leverages the multi-core that is there on your hardware, that is present on the server or on your laptop, right? And apart from that, basically, it has a very highly improved garbage collection, which is one of the pain point, as you know, in most of the languages, right? That
it is.
Memory management, they have significantly improved. And as you know, that being a youth language, they have really taken into considerations of the other challenges that we have on various other languages, right? So, and then apart from that, Go also supports, simplified way and converts the code into a machine code rather than just an interpreted language, right?
Okay.
Interpreted by any
that
interpreter.
is
So
one key difference with respect to this language like Java, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So
No
that's
JVM
like
equivalent is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. And that's why probably I think the frameworks, which are driving frameworks, which are probably targeted towards various flavors of OSs, right? I think they are probably better built, or they probably give better performance, like things like Kubernetes, right? So yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Okay. Right. Even concurrency, right? We have been hearing it has better concurrency now. We all have used traditional Java threading and Java concurrency package and all that, and those are pretty good. So what is a plus here basically in Golang?
One of the very interesting things that they have introduced is called a Go routine in Go, where you can, with just a single line, you can simply execute your code in a concurrency mode. So, and then that's like a Go and the name of the function primarily invokes that functions and starts executing concurrently. And it uses the, CPU scaling mechanism for scheduling those concurrent executed lightweight processes, that's what they call it, is along with your main program that is running. And in complementary, they have also implemented like channels, which primarily you can leverage to interact with the Go routines which are running concurrently, right? Because most of the time there is a use case that you need to communicate with the processes which are running concurrently, right? So that's what is very interesting concept that Golang provides in terms of concurrency.
Interesting. So this is an aspect, if somebody wants to understand Golang, this will be one of the core aspects, right? Figuring out the right Go routines and how they get kind of sequenced or how they get scheduled across the multi-cores. And you get a better concurrency because of that too.
Yeah, and interestingly, Samir, you don't need to do anything because Go has its own scheduler built into the language itself, which takes care of it. So a lot of those complexities are taken away from the developers and gives an improved performance.
Definitely, I think these are great points, interesting point. I mean, I'm sure this will make me and maybe many others to kind of start now exploring further. We also talked about garbage collection, and it has introduced that. So it has great garbage collection as well, right? Which is essential for any modern language now.
Yeah.
Okay. So any general words of caution, like somebody new who's trying to look at this language and adopt it, right? A couple of points to keep in mind, right, while trying to switch over to Go. What to watch out for, or what where not to use, or whatever, basically, that you can think of.
Absolutely, yeah. So, like for example, one of the thing, as you know, that Golang is not object-oriented language, right? So, if you are coming with a lot of object-oriented programming background experience like Java and similar type of languages, then you might find it little difficult and to cope up. But I would suggest as you know, over a period of time, there are certain cases like where we wanted to encourage composition over, inheritance.
Yeah.
So Go is kind of enforcing such kind of best practices while writing the code. So if you really have a case where you want to leverage a lot of object-oriented concepts, that's the place maybe you would prefer to use other languages. But where you are primarily thinking about scalability, performance, simplification, or if it is like a system or enterprise scaling that you need distributed, is the places that primarily I would recommend that we should consider Go as a language of choice.
Yeah, right. So basically, if I'm just developing a nice web app with a lot of web and less of server, probably I may not need Go, not totally, or I might be satisfied with some other frameworks. But yeah, that's another thing which I thought probably is where you watch out and don't just use blindly, right? So
exactly, yeah.
Okay, but this is great. I think this should give everyone good starting points, and we'll give more references as well, Himadri, resources to look up and read and watch and all that. Fantastic. I think nice chatting with you on this evening. I think we missed our coffee. Next time we will have coffee cups with us anyways. And hope to talk to you again, Himadri.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you, Samir, on that Coffee Chai channel. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
viewers.
Bye,
Keep
bye.
watching. Thank you.